Hi everybody, welcome to Dulcimerica. My name is Futch. Thank you very much for joining me. I got another Christmas song for you, and I can't believe I don't have this one in my repertoire already. Thought about it a couple days ago, quickly came up with this arrangement, and now sharing it with you. So we will learn it together, basically. It's Happy Christmas, War is Over by John Lennon and the Plastic Ono Band from the early 70s. Good stuff here. And you can download the tablature, 2 pages of it, right down here at this link below for Patreon. It's my open house going on all the time, basically. And if you go to this link and download the tablature, down below it, you'll see some tags. And if you click on the open house tag, it'll take you to a lot more. A whole bunch of music you can download. Recordings, sheet music, videos, and more than that. So give it a taste, check it out, and while you're doing that, I want to say hello to one of my patrons, Laura Bell. Laura, thank you so much for your support and for your encouragement. You and all of my patrons make it possible for me to do this every single day without having to worry about where that next income bit is coming in. I don't have to go and sit someplace for 5 hours and play and be part of the quesadilla circuit where no one's really listening to you. I can instead focus on creating lesson plans, making new arrangements, creating workshops and stuff like that. I would much rather be doing that than playing in the back of a smoky bar somewhere. And so thankfully, because of Patreon, I've been able to stop doing that and focus on just performing and teaching in a different way altogether. And I am so grateful to all of my patrons for that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura. And if you would like to check it out, just go to that link, follow those tags, and if you like what you see, it's only $5 a month to download everything that I've ever done. And on top of that, every week, we've got new content, including Mailbag Monday, Dulcimerica, Dulcimerica Deluxe, and a lot more. Of course, all my workshops are free to get into online if you're a patron as well. $5 a month or $50.40 for the year will get you access unlimited. And if you like what you see, do think about becoming a patron like Laura Bell. Again, Laura, thank you so very, very much. Okay, so if you download the tab, let's go ahead and jump into it. First of all, we are in DAD tuning. And we are going to be starting in the key of A, 3 sharps, F, C, and G sharp on the staff. That's going to change, though, as you're about to see. Our time signature is 6/8, so we have 6 beats in the measure, and the 8th note is what gets the beat. Let's take a look at our navigation, starting with our second measure. We have repeat symbols at the beginning, and then look at second page, measure 25. We've got repeat symbols at the end with our first ending. So we'll play from measure 2 to 25, repeat, play all the way through again to the end of measure 24, and then take the second ending at measure 26, and then move on to the chorus, measures 27 through 34, and repeat until you would like to end the song. All right, that's our navigation. Next step is to go along and take a look at our melodies and chords. Nothing fancy here. As you know, the song starts off with just John singing, "So This Is Christmas." We have our first lines here. And then we start playing right here. Bar 4 to get our A, and then middle string serving as part of our melody. We're going to hold that middle string note for 7 beats, that tied note. Notice we have a quarter note, a dotted quarter note, and then on the downbeat of measure 3, another quarter note tied together. That's 7 beats all together. That's pretty much the rhythm. Whenever we do this downbeat and then sustained note pattern, it's going to be an 8th note followed by 7 beats of a sustained note. When you see all black notes, that's going to be the way things roll. When you see some clear notes in there, like in measure 4, measure 8, things like that, measure 20, there we're going to be holding the sustained note for 8 beats because we don't have that 8th note at the beginning by itself. So we're going to have 6 beats in the measure for the dotted half note and then add 2 beats for the tied note to our downbeats there. That's pretty much the 2 flavors of tied notes that you're going to get. So make sure you're counting through, and as I'm playing, instead of counting each single time, I'll be doing some very mellow stuff in the background on the bass string and on the middle string. Selective strumming just to sort of keep things moving along. You could do it like I do it, or you can do it a little differently. Again, I don't have this worked up to performance level, so I'm still thinking about what fingers I want to use and that type of thing. So let's go ahead nice and slow through and take a look at what's going on here. 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is the first thing you're going to have some issues with, I'm sure, is this chord that's happening here in measure number 6. That is an E6 chord, 8, 6.5, 6.5. It only does that for a moment before the 6.5, the C sharp, goes down to B. Nonetheless, I'm using my ring finger here, and it's unusual if you're not used to hitting it. So you may want to practice that a few times. And I am hitting the bass and middle string again when I hit the 5. But as written, it would be, and you can do that either way, personal preference. Measure 7, we're going to use the bass string as part of our melody. And then get down into 1, 2, 4. A major. What I would do is hit that 1, 2, 4, and then let it get into measure 9, and then stop it short a bit and mute it with your right hand, so then you can play 4, 9, 9, 9, and there's our key change to D major as we come in with a 4, 5, 8 resolving to a D major 4, 5, 7. I'm going to use my ring finger down here to hit 4, and then we come down to an E minor, measure 12. Using my ring finger to get 5 again. And then we get down into a major chord, measure 14, 7 on the middle string. And then we come down to measure 16 for our D major, and now I'm going to make that a D7. In measure 17, we have now changed over to the key of G with just 1 sharp on the staff. And D7 is a naturally occurring chord that happens in the key of G, so it suits us very well right there. Taking my thumb up, there's open. Thumb now hits 5. And we get into a G major chord with our melody. There's our A minor. We're going to walk up with the thumb, 2, and then hit the 3, 1. That's just kind of a riff right there. There's no melody going on there. Now the melody comes back in. That's a G6 chord, 3, 1, 1. Picking up for the 0, using my middle finger to slide up and grab 2, measure 24, all open. And then 1, 1, 1 effectively gets us back into the key of A. And there are our pickup notes at the end of the first measure. So we'll go ahead and take those. And we're back at measure 2. Down to 1, 2, 4, and then we are now in the key of D. I'm going to use my ring finger for 4, and then here's our E minor, ring finger for 5, A major, 7 middle, back to D, 4, 5, 6, and our key change to G major. O, open 5 with the thumb. Walk down the middle with your thumb. And now middle of measure 23. 24, open again. And now measure 26. And now we go into our chorus, which, by the way, you can hear the chorus moving along melodically in the background while we are going through the verses. But as soon as we get to the chorus, we have words put to it. War is over if you want it. War is over now. This can be a little tricky. We're going to scale it down to be really effective here. Starting off at measure 27. Okay, that is the chorus, and let's go over it again. Measure 27 starting in. And what I'm doing is a little counterpoint happening on the bass string. So, so. Then bend it. Bend that note first. What's going on there anyway? Right there is 7, and that is A. And if we bend it, we get A sharp, which is the same thing as B flat. But in this case, since we're in a key signature that has a sharp, we're going to write it as A sharp. And to get A sharp, we have to bend A upwards a half step. So what's tricky about this is we got to do that while we're holding down a bar. And the ideal thing to do here is to bend it first and hit it. You don't want to hear it. I mean, you could stylistically, but as it being the only note in your entire arrangement that goes, it might stick out more than you'll want it to. So bend it first, and then come down here and do this. So we'll go from 4. And then come on back down. And then and you could certainly end there, because at the very end of the tune the kids end and they sing "War is over now," and then it stops. Or you could keep fading it out and playing along that way. But in any case, that is a walkthrough of Happy Christmas. War is over. I pointed out some of the points, or pointed out some of the parts that might be difficult, and I'm still working through what I want to do with this. So again, there's going to be probably a different version of this tablature available, and all you have to do is go back to this address, and I will upload the more recent version as I change it. So don't ever lose this. And if you become a patron, don't worry about it, because every single time you see this piece of music, it will be the most recent version with the most recent updates. Thank you guys so very, very much for tuning in. Next week, I got a very, very special anniversary show, and it's not Dulcimerica's anniversary. It's the anniversary of a motion picture that I fell in love with 33 years ago. And we're going to learn one of the greatest Disney songs of all time next week. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for all of you.